Oh, hi there. I didn't see you come in. That was an awkward and clunky opening, but believe me, every opening I've tried has been awkward and clunky. So this is the best you're getting. I might as well lean into it. And that's what a lot of this is going to be. A lot of these videos are going to be me leaning into things that might not work. I don't know yet. I don't know how this is going to go, but I felt like trying something a little bit different because I have been crafting for almost my entire life. When I was little, I was playing with plasticine, scratch building, kit bashing, sculpting. All of these things are things that I've always been doing. Now there's a collective name for it, and there is an audience for it online, which I am part of that audience. There are some fantastic crafters, content creators out there. If you're like me and you grew up with Tony Hart and you grew up with Andy Buchanan, is it Andy Buchanan? Art Attack, the Art Attack guy with the jumpers. Blue Peter, making things out of fairy liquid bottles. The huge craze there was around building a Tracy Island. If you remember that, then your childhood was, like a lot of people's childhood, very much a sign of the times that you were growing up in. But yeah, anyway, this is episode 1, which implies there will be future episodes. I hope there will. This is a learning curve. The first thing I'm doing here is I'm sculpting a little figure. Quite simple, something that I'm familiar with, comfortable doing, enjoy doing. This is more about the learning process of actually documenting this, which is very difficult. You'll see the first few minutes of this. Not great. It gets better. Please stick with it. I'll pop back a bit later on. If you're still here, which I hope you are, we'll check in on the progress then. Excuse me. Oh wait, no, I've got to build some. And yes, it was Neil Buchanan. I can hear all 4 of you screaming at the screen. Not Andy Buchanan. Mine will not be made in China, but made in my living room. It also won't be this squashy rubber. It will be solid cause clay. You can see the details that are printed on the rubber. It's actually quite flat with details carved into it. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to make a small aperture, both for scale and because it's made of tinfoil, and tinfoil is cheaper than cause clay. Compare the size. As you watch, I do that a lot, quite often, compare the size. There's the cause clay. Just building it up, really, bulking it over, and more comparing. I don't know why I'm trying to recreate this Coco Beware figure. But yeah, keep going back, trying to match the size up perfectly. I didn't even know what I was doing with the arms. I'm building it out like I'm having the arms stretched out. I didn't know that at this point. Time for his first little bake, which I will never show again or reference. There he is, all baked up. And now I start to build layers on the legs. Using that little silicone tool to smooth things over. Trying to get rid of some of the lumpiness. Using the blunt edge, and that is the blunt edge of a blade. I create little indent lines around the crotch area, and then use this little silicone tool just to widen things out a little, make those lines a bit more apparent. Dan does branded Archive there. I don't want to steal the sound effect. Oh, look at him standing. Oh, it's tar. Video. I need to go with the craft knife there. And follow that. I would follow that. Anyway, everything else. Castles. Tactical are cool. All cool in the rock. Until you claim you have invented tacticals. Single ball stylus there to add a bit more definition around about the edge of the tacticals, and on the end of a craft knife is perfect for all releases. It's the best bit of the bubble. How often do we make it as a bubble every little layer? Sticking it in the air for about 6 to 8 seconds, 100 degrees. I'm not sure of that. In America. 400. Beard and face. Little face. There's them with little face. Actually, there's a sort of carve it out and each rope to kind of get the fish just completely replaced. Just kind of left it in because ultimately it's tight. I don't even get the shades there, so even the net, set. A little more definition there. Just the lines, the detail. Back of the head is different. I'm not changing anything about it because I'm leading up about it. But the releases. Okay, so thanks for sticking with it this far because it hasn't been great. One of the first things that I realised when watching the early stuff back was I was trying to craft and film at the same time, and so a lot of the things I was doing, I wasn't doing it to camera. It was off camera. You were missing a lot of stuff out because it was all over the place. Now, going forward, I am I'm sculpting a little bit to camera specifically. It's not always, but it's better. So thanks for sticking with it this far. If you don't mind giving a little like, a little thumbs up, so comment underneath, subscribe. My 22 subscribers are lonely. They would like more.
This is just again to get the.
So please, because there will be more. If people are subscribing, it means that you want to see this. You'd like to see more of what I'm doing. Comment underneath because I do enjoy a little bit of social media interaction. I think YouTube is social media, isn't it? I don't know.
Okay, so here he is. With the comparison now, you can see he's already much bigger and moving away from the look of the official Micro Brawler toy. I've put these little lobster claws on the end for something for the hands to build on. Just a little shape so that the claws clay can grip. And I'm now beginning to build the cape shape, as I've decided I was going to have an entrance robe on this figure. That's the style that I went for. That's what I decided on. Adding in those little, see those things, the little retro wristies, and all this little detail that I'm adding. Doesn't matter. They're gone. I'll cover them later on. But for now, they're there. And I suppose they always will be. You just won't see them. I'm starting to build up the little hand shape. I'm using little sausages for fingers, even though I don't have sausages for fingers. I've actually got quite slender, artistic fingers. Smoothing in with a little silicone tool, getting it nice and rounded. And there he has hands! I'm going to add some detail into the chest area, put a little bit of lettering. So I add a layer, just a thin layer of cosplay that then I can carve into. There we see, carving it in. This is another bit that I never actually change, and I'm not all that satisfied with it. Go. It's not great. There we go, we see him starting to build up the cape. Put a little edge on there. filling it in. We'll fill it in even more. I will continue to fill it in. Again, in hindsight, I would have started with a different solid shape. I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go along. Yeah. Then you see the back. It's kind of skimpy, skin tight. Weird. Don't need to see my little cartoon butt through my cape. So, more filling in. Smoothing it all off. Trying to get as smooth a back as possible. And for some reason, even though you can see there's lots of dents in it, I feel it's good enough. This is not good enough. This is terrible. And look, even here, I'm out of focus. You know why I'm out of focus? Because this is garbage. Ugh. I'm going to add a trim around about the edge here. A fur trim. Hang on, let me just have a little sip of this tin of Monster. Ooh. Using this little worm, really. And oh, it's kicking in. Oh, look at my hands go. This is what happens when a 47-year-old man downs a can of Monster in one go. Oh, look at him. Like a blur. This is actual speed. This isn't edit. This is the actual speed of my hands. Oh, look at him go. Oof. Cramping up a little now. Ha! Now here's pointless texturing with felt. I do this to the whole thing. It does nothing. I try and pretend. I kid myself. I go, oh yeah, look, I can see some texturing. There is no texturing. Not at all. Yeah, pointless. As you'll see in a moment. Believe it or not, at this point, I actually think it's finished. How wrong I am. Poor naive me. Oh.
So, yeah, here we go. This is what I've got so far. It's not finished because I don't like it. For the most part, it's okay. I don't like the facial hair. I don't like this lettering on the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth this over. I'm going to cut out little letters and I'm going to stick them on so that it's going to be a little bit embossed. It should stand out better. Same, I'm going to add a bit of sculpt to the beard, the moustache, the facial features. This is very flat and it's carved in. It's manufactured. I don't want mine to look manufactured. I want it to look good, but I also want it to have that uniqueness that belongs to being handmade. So this, made in China, mass-produced, fit in a very specific style that they all fit to. That's not what I want. So, yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more.
Okay, look, this is going to start moving into that dreadful, non-existent facial detail. Nice into stick on the little basic quartz clay. So that there's a little slug of quartz clay. Easily. And now, as you can see, my beard will appear in seconds. Rather than reality. Maybe 35 years. And even now, I'm still waiting for another item. Little instant for the eyes. Terrifying struggles. I'm going to add more blue shades after completely revamp the fur trim. Yes. It's kind of mesmerising. You're not picking it. That's fantastic. I wish this was the actress. Nice. This was really time consuming, but it was also really satisfying. I'm happy with the outcome, and so it was well worth it. Just yeah, if you're not yet, all this detailing. If I ever do become an episode of most of this thing, we'll have so many points. I'm not quite sure what to do. I think I do want to make prison casts, but I don't know if I'll be looking at small color. Given the limited that thing in green, put some kind of marble or something. Really, this, I'm just not sure. Well, it would be great. Just, yeah, lots. I didn't even felt in the back. I just got them as one of adding all this old detailing, and yeah, never took the camera again. I added the 3D later, just found out so much more. Just, yeah, it's really glad I did this. Well, the detail completely away from this fucking video, the inspiration, the original figure, but I'm comparing now. I'm Brawler. Add some detailing, looking at those shades as well. Just, that's what I'm 3D. And hollow it. Yes, I could fill it in, and then hold the back out like a ghoul, and then hollow it out, hold it in, hold the blood.
Okay, here we go. This is what I would say is that it's finished. There are still other bits that I maybe tweaking if I did it again. Would do a little bit differently, but significant differences now between this one, which in hindsight, what I think I might have done, and if I try to make one of these, I would just make the solid shape and then carve all the lines into it rather than try and build it up, which is the way I did this one. This one's much more 3D. So, yeah. This is what I was going for. I didn't realise this was what I was going for until I made it. I like the detail on the fur. I like the detail on the back. Much more embossed. Yeah, I would say I'm happy. Happy with this guy. And now I'm going to prime it and I'm going to paint it and see how that looks. And it could be an absolute abomination, in which case I'll be full of regret that I've ruined it. Because I do kind of like him in the pink. Like a very large muscle guy. Remember muscle guys? Like a very large muscle guy. Which I like the idea of making these, but so small, so fiddly. Don't know. Maybe down the line. But for now, this guy needs a coat of paint. Painting's not that exciting to watch. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just go clip, clip, clip. I don't know. Let's get through this next bit. And then we're almost at the finish. Well done. Well done.
But the front of pink, the flesh colour and black, even the both colours, the minimum, the reliable metal. Yep, only use both colours. White, so green, flesh, black, Ah, ah, okay. White and brown. I think I'll do like white and brown. These things. Down and there, all six chords. Yeah. Tending to add a little bit like could be there. I don't even put on that. Just glad I wanted to keep the water. So yeah, I'm happy.
Okay, finished. Job done. Uh, Satisfied with him. Well, I say, I don't even know. Satisfied even feels a little bit too strong. Doing it again, there are things I would change. I'm going to cast these. I'm going to make a resin silicon mold and try and cast copies in resin, and I think there will be a few problematic areas. Painting took a lot longer than I thought it would. This is finished, but the project itself is still a work in progress. But I want to move on from that. So I've really enjoyed making this video. I'm looking forward to getting started on the next one. I've got a few ideas as to what I might try, what I'm going to do. It won't be sculpting out of cause clay. It will be something different. I want to try and make each video as different from the last. There's a lot of different things I enjoy making. There's a lot of different things I like to try out. There's a lot of projects I see. I see other people making things like, oh, I want to try that. I have a few little ideas of my own. So, yeah, if you've stuck with this, thank you so much. If you could give me a little like, that is always very much appreciated and just takes a few seconds. If you want to take it a stage further, we'll comment in the comments bit down there. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of the little figure. Let me know what you'd like to see me do next. Anything. Just say hello. That's nice. Little emoji. I might not know how to respond because I don't know what all the emojis mean. And if you would like to see what comes next, because there will be more coming next, and you have liked and you've commented, then a little subscribe, hit the little notification bell so when the next video comes up, probably in a few weeks, a month, it takes a while to do these on top of everything else, you know, everyday life and all these other things. It's fun. I don't want it to become not fun. So I don't want to set timelines and things like that. I will see you for the next video. I don't know what it is just yet. What to do is keep an eye on my Instagram. That's always good because I will be posting updates and things like that there. So whatever's coming next, that's probably the first place you're going to find out about it. And until then, I'll see you next time. I'm Retro Randy. This is a little Retro Randy. And enjoy the little glamour shot.